It seems like it's been so long since I've been on here. That's probably because it has. I think it's been a couple of weeks. Um, but it's been crazy. Everything has been crazy, crazy, crazy. So I think the last time I talked to you guys, my computer had crashed, my work computer had crashed, and I was having to use my personal computer to do my work on, which I was very, very, very uncomfortable with. So finally got that computer. Was it Monday? Yes, Monday. But then there was issues with it, and it wouldn't do right, and blah blah blah. One thing about my life, anything that can go extremely smooth and extremely easy for somebody else, it won't happen like that for me. It's gonna be something going on that's gonna just absolutely not do right. So because I'm used to it, I still get aggravated, but not as aggravated as I could be. So hopefully uh somebody's listening out there. If not, I would just chat with myself. I'm good with that. You know, I come from a family of mental illness, and we have plenty that we're used to talking to yourself. And I said that just to kind of that wasn't the best crossover, but I did want to say that this is National Mental Health Awareness Month. And last year, um, I did a recording, and it was very, very hard to do because I'm usually really silly, and I don't like to talk about serious topics a whole lot. But because it was Mental Health Awareness Month, and because of the stigma that mental health disorders get in our communities, especially the Black community, the religious communities, where they feel like you can pray everything away. No need for medicine, no need for seeing a doctor, go to Dr. Jesus. And like I said in my recording, which I probably reposted because, you know, uh, it was hard, but I was very transparent about a lot of things. And I was hoping, and based on the comments I got, it seemed like there were some people who knew where I was coming from with that. So it's May again, Mental Health Awareness Month. Um, Keep in mind, because a lot of us, we know people who may have different mental issues going on, but we may not necessarily be close to them. Well, in my family, we have several members, including my brother. And yesterday was actually the twins' birthday. My two youngest brothers that are 8 years younger than me, their birthday was yesterday. And one of the twins is schizophrenic, and he also is bipolar. So that has been, and I've talked about this before, that has been a roller coaster ride for the whole family. Um, but that's my brother, that's my parents' child. You know, we don't hit. And the thing that has always bothered me about people with mental disease that other people don't understand is they want to just lock them up or put them away somewhere, and it's not about always getting them help, but getting them out of their way so you don't have to be bothered with them. And I can't say anything. I've been guilty at times of feeling unsafe because when I was living in Birmingham, I worked at Children's Hospital, and around the hospitals, a lot of times there are a lot of homeless people or whatever. So there was this one particular guy, and he obviously was hearing voices because he talked to himself, but sometimes he would get violent with the people he was talking to in his head. And it would make me nervous because I parked out there in the front, and when I'd be going to my car, I always be like, why is he here? But at the same time, I'm like, as long as he doesn't harm me, I'm good. Because I think that's the biggest fear with people with mental disorder. You don't know what they're capable of or what they're going to do. Now, my brother they just turned 41, and he was diagnosed when he was 18. So it's been a really, really long time, what feels like forever. And he's in a good place right now. He lives in a group home. not far from me, probably about 10 minutes from me. And it's just been a bumpy ride. And for the caregivers, Mental Health Awareness Month is not just for the patients, but the caregivers as well, because that is a full-time job. Literally, my mom was working. She ended up, when my brother got really bad, she stopped working. And my dad ended up having to retire early because, he was just getting out of hand. And it's like the hardest thing to realize is it's not anything that they can control. Because if the person is hearing voices, they're literally hearing these conversations in their head. And sometimes I have to stop and put myself in his shoes and think about how would I feel if I was walking around and two or three conversations are going on inside of my head at the same time that other people can't hear. So, and it's a lot to think about. But my brother has done well. He continues to do pretty well. He has his moments and stuff. But I'm proud of my daughter because, she's been around him since she was younger. And a lot of times kids, they'll be afraid of things they don't understand. But ever since she's been old enough, I've let her know that, he's different. He's got an illness, and, and she's not afraid of it. Like, she speaks to him. She always gives him a hug. Of course, he works on nerves sometimes because he's the type of person, Dedrick will tell you the same thing 50 million times. And then sometimes when he talks, all of the words, and I'm bad about that too, but ain't nothing wrong with me. But all of his words start running together, and you have to have him repeat himself and slow it down. And that can get frustrating because it's just like, and then he'll be talking about something that's way in left field, and you like, dude, I don't want to talk about that. But he's not. I have not known him to be violent in any way. But he's just, and especially for somebody, he's a big guy. You see, I'm heavy. He's bigger than me. He's taller than me. But very polite. Like, he's the type, he'll walk up to strangers in the grocery store and start a conversation thinking he know them. And, if you got the little old white lady that's standing there that's 5 feet tall and she's feeling intimidated by this stranger coming up here talking to her and she don't know what he's talking about, first thing they're ready to do is call the police or call the store manager or do something. And so a lot of times I'll just, it gets cumbersome taking him in the store because you have to keep an eye on him, or in a restaurant because you have to keep an eye on him and, not letting him make people feel uncomfortable. But when I first found out that he was diagnosed, I went through a whole denial thing. Like, it's not true. They're going to find out it's something else. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. Well, it was that. And it finally got to a point where I couldn't deny it anymore. But I just was so sad. And it got to a point where, if I was watching something on TV, like SVU, where there was a case of a person that had schizophrenia or something like that, I couldn't watch the episodes because it hit too close to home. And then, I do chart reviews and because I'm an auditor. And anytime a behavioral health chart would come across my desk, I would ask somebody else to look at it because I'm just like, I just don't, no, I don't want to read it because sometimes other people's cases are worse than what you know. And then you're thinking, well, is this what it's going to become later? You hardly ever read success stories. So, and the fact of the matter is, he is going to be in that condition for the rest of his life. And me being the oldest child, see, that leads me to another thing. Away from the mental health, I was venting to my friends yesterday because, okay, I've told y'all before, I am the only girl and I'm the oldest. So, of course, I am the responsible one, right? So, anytime anything comes up, I don't care what's going on, the expectation is Lisa, because to my family, I'm not Melissa, I'm Lisa. Lisa is going to fix it. Lisa's going to take care of it. Lisa's going to make sure everything's good. It don't matter that I got 3 other brothers. Even, well, I won't count Dedrick because, he's got his issues, but it don't matter. Like, my mom, she called me, and I got frustrated because she called me, asking me something about my brother next to me, his daughter's getting ready to graduate. So she was coming and asking me something about the graduation. I'm like, and I hear my brother talking in the background. I'm like, why are you calling me? And he right there. Ask him. Why are you asking me? But it's like, I don't know. Cause I was trying to make a point last night because even when I was over there, I had ordered her. I ended up having to get her a new phone. So the phone, when I ordered the phone, afterwards I decided to order her a protective case. So I ordered the case. Case came to her house. It's been over there for a week. She went over there for a week with three other people, my dad and my two brothers that are at home at their house. She waited until I came over there last night and asked me to put that damn cover on that phone. And I'm just like, you couldn't nobody do this for you. You had to wait for me to come do this. And I don't want it to seem like I don't want to do stuff, but I'm just like, you get to a point where you kind of feel taken for granted because it's just like understood that you're gonna do it. It's not even a point where you ask anymore. It's an expectation. So, I get my feathers ruffled and I have to vent about this sometimes, but at the end, I'm the type, I'm not gonna say no. I might fuss, but I'm not gonna say no. So, fix the phone, whatever. So, and we were all over yesterday for the twins' birthday. And that, even though I was having a hell of a day and that I really didn't feel like getting out, it turned out to be pretty good. It was just the six of us counting. Well, no, it's seven, ain't it? My daughter makes seven because it's four kids, my parents, and my daughter. So, it turned out okay. And today my computer is working, so I'm like I'm on a roll. Some other things that I have been trying to take care of, I got taken care of. Oh, and let me just say too, while we were out, over the weekend, my daughter, I got her banner up today. I usually have my econ thing, but I got hers up today because, we have been doing this product. Her and my business partner, Tony's daughter, Tyler, they started during the pandemic a hand sanitizer business. And they were able to start the business because the company that I work for, my econ, was able to get the product wholesale. And during the pandemic, it was crazy. You couldn't find hand sanitizer, you couldn't find toilet paper, you couldn't find Lysol, all that stuff. So when we got that inside hookup on the hand sanitizer, Tony mentioned to me, he was like, we should start a business for the girls. Because one thing about it, I had already, my daughter has already been working for me since she was 5. Once I started my home-based business, I immediately learned that I could hire her as an employee, even though she was 5, and that the money that I pay her in wages is a write-off for me because it's an expense. So immediately I found out what I needed to do that, and I hired her. So since she's been 5, I've been using her likeness on advertising. I've had her do cleaning up. When we used to have the meetings, you'll see plenty of pictures where we were having our in-person meetings, and she's sitting at the registration table, signing people in, getting them snacks, getting them water, whatever. So she has grown up in the business, and I'm hoping all of this stuff that we talk about, like osmosis, will sink in because I didn't know a whole lot about business when I was younger. I knew that I wouldn't mind having one, but I definitely didn't know what all it takes to do it. So she's been my employee since she was 5, and then in 2020, when the pandemic started, we decided since we could get this product to take it up another level, let them go from being employers to business owners. So I built a website for them. It's copyrighted, www.time9essentials.com. So that's people can go to the website and order. Saturday, my sorority had an event, and they were taking vendors. So we had not done a vendor thing before. Most of our sales prior to that, we were doing through online orders. So this was the first vendor event, and it went pretty well. We didn't take a whole lot of product because I'm like, I don't want to lug a whole bunch over there and it doesn't sell. But actually, we sold almost everything we brought with us. And then there were people who were telling us, we might should have charged more. But I was trying to keep it reasonable because the thing of it was during the pandemic, our prices were a little bit higher because it was competitive. Well, now after the pandemic ended, you could go two for $1, get a 2 ounce bottle. Like the size bottle we have is this 2 ounce, and then we also have a 10 ounce. And I thought I had one close by. Anyway, so um, we had a couple of different sizes, and we tried to do the thing where if you buy two, you get a discount. So it was like one bottle was, I want to say $3, or you can get two for $5. So we did things like that. The girls were part of the process for getting the orders together, because we literally everything from the bottle to the logo, all of that we designed ourselves, and then we took their pictures and had their business cards done in a similar fashion. So they were a part of all of that decision making and everything, and it worked out really well. They were 10 and 12 years old. And so, like I said, Naya was a vendor over the weekend, and that worked out well. So I'm like, look, we got way too much hand sanitizer at home, but y'all not to be selling this stuff. It's your business, because technically we set up an account in their name. They have their own email, website, Facebook page, YouTube. They had a YouTube channel, but it wasn't really growing really fast. So I kind of changed that channel to like a vlog channel, but I still feature a lot of their stuff on there. But I'm telling them, like, look, if y'all want to make money, people want to hear from y'all. Y'all are the ones who started the company. It's your product. They don't want to hear from me and Tony. They want to hear from y'all. So we try to make sure we keep them involved. And life is busy. School starts. When we first did it, they were at home because everybody was at home doing school virtually. But then when school started back, things changed. But I still wanted to stay business minded, because my thing is, I'm all for going to college. I'm a college graduate. I have a bachelor's degree, and I believe that especially for us, you're not gonna get your foot in the door in a lot of places if you don't have some type of degree. But on the other hand, I look at the fact that college has changed so much. It's gotten so expensive now. Like when I was in school, I literally sometimes would be sitting in class, and because I didn't do student loans or anything, my dad paid for my school. So I would be sitting in class, and they're like, Miss King, your name isn't on the roll. And I'm like, I know. My dad's going to pay it when he get paid. I know you speak this in class, and I know he's going to pay it. So I would be sitting in class, ain't on the roll or nothing. There's no way I could do that now with the cost of school, because I was looking at tuition. I was looking at the cost of living on campus. All of that, it's ridiculous. And what bothers me about it is, you're so proud of your kids when they go to school and they go to college and they work hard. And I love, love, love graduation season. Graduation season always makes me feel so good to see. I don't care if they graduate from kindergarten or if they're middle school, high school, college. I don't care what it is. I love to see people graduate, because it means you done worked hard and you done completed whatever you started. And that's a big accomplishment, because it's a bunch of stuff I started and quit and quit. So I'm really proud of people that do that. But then I feel bad for people who have put that time in, and they went to school based on this dream, the American dream. You go to school, you get your degree, you get out, you get a good job. And sometimes that good job is just not there. I don't care how hard you work, how hard you look. A lot of times they'll throw in your face you don't have enough experience. And it's like, okay, if it's a college graduate, you got to keep in mind that this person is not going to have experience. All they have is the book knowledge. There should be some type of leeway in there for somebody to get in and, get started. And depending on what your field is, sometimes it's not. And then from people that I do know that got student loans, as soon as they're done with school and make this accomplishment, the loan payments get started back, and then they want to add interest and stuff, and you haven't even found a job yet. Or if you found a job, maybe it's not in your field, or maybe it's not paying as much as you thought. So I worry about that. So my thing is, I'm teaching her to definitely, you're going to school, you definitely need a trade or some type of something that sets you apart, that you're able to get a job. But the other thing I'm teaching her is be your own boss. Always have another stream of income, a side gig, whatever you want to call it, because that is important too. I've been teaching her about the tax system. I've been teaching her about credit. I made her an authorized user. I think right now I got a couple cards on here. She don't even have my help. This one, yeah, this one right here says Tyler Richards. That is her Old Navy card. She's had it for about 3 years now. And we order stuff and I pay it off. And that way I'm establishing, credit for her. As long as my credit is good, her credit is good. If mine going to trash, hers going to trash too. But I don't plan on mine going in the trash. Because when I was in college, my credit was terrible. But I'm teaching her now about responsibility and this and the other. And she's not gonna completely get it because she don't have no bills to pay. But at the same time, she hear me. Maybe when it does come time for them bills to hit, she be standing there and my voice will be ringing in the back of her head saying, you know what? My mama told me about it. So there's, I figure if you keep saying it over and over, some of it sink in. But I will play, because at one point when I was doing my other lives, I would say these lives are sponsored by the girls, just to give them a little shameless plug. So I think I'm starting doing that again. So here is the information about, let's see which one I want to play. They got 2 different ones. Let's see. Okay. I'll let y'all check this one.
Hey girls, how are you two doing?
I am doing wonderful.
Amazing.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourselves.
My name is Tyler Clopton, and I am 12 years old.
I am Naya Richards, and I am 10 years old.
Okay, little ladies, how about your business?
We are selling hand sanitizer by Ty and
Nice Essentials.
Okay, so what makes your sanitizer unique?
Because it is sold by us children.
Where is it made?
It is made in the U.S. and it has 70% out of alcohol.
It kills 99.9% of germs, and it has an amazing smell.
Okay, so how can we find out more about your business?
You can find us on YouTube and Facebook under Ty Nye Essentials.
We also have a website, ChinaEssentials.com.
Awesome, girls. So this concludes our interview. Do you have any last words for your customers?
I would just want to say thank you for your support.
You are helping us save the world in a small, big way.
Yeah.
So that's our girls. Now they were 10 and 12 back then. Now we got 13 and 15. So we're dealing with teenagers now. But we were really happy with how, they did with the product and answering questions. And, we're trying to build the CEO attitude. And I think they embraced it for a while. But my hope was that they would start taking off and doing more of it on their own, like without us having to push them. And it may come back around to that. There was another one we had that actually showed you the products. Let's see what that one is. Or do I have it? Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Melissa.
Okay. So those are the two that I usually show when I'm trying to advertise for the company. So keep in mind, if you are in the need for hand sanitizer, we get the product wholesale, but we add our own little spin to it, and we put essential oils in to create scents or whatever. Because the hand sanitizer by itself, it don't always smell good. But we figured out that if we order essential oils, and you can get oils of any, we got peppermint, we had lavender, you know, fruit flavors, everything. We ordered all the oils and we tried different ones, and whatever we came out with, that's what we rock with. So trust me when I tell you, we have plenty of hand sanitizer. So go to hotnessentials.com and place your order today. I would like to thank those on YouTube who did support. One of our first customers was Lady Nika. She ordered a couple of the 2-ounce bottles from us as soon as we got started, and she also shared it on her channel, and everything. So we were thankful to her for that. I'm trying to think. It seems like there was someone else that ordered, but like I said, if you are in the market and needing hand sanitizer, please reach out and order from the girls because we got plenty of it. Okay. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention today was today is Tony Clopton's My Econ Anniversary. He has officially been with My Econ as a home-based business owner now for 8 years. And if you don't know, Tony is the reason why I got in this business, because I was kind of what you call it? I was eavesdropping and stalking him on YouTube on Facebook, because I know Tony from home. He and I went to we grew up in the same area and went to the same high school. So I've known Tony since elementary school. And we both grew up and moved off. He went to the military. I did a little traveling or whatever. And so we both ended up in the Birmingham area. And I started seeing him putting these posts on Facebook. Hey, bitch thinker, how you doing? Thanks for coming through. Yeah, I noticed him putting these posts on Facebook. And I'm like, what Tony talking about? So he was saying, I didn't cash flow this, and I didn't eliminated this debt, and I did this. And I'm thinking, now, Tony got one of them good jobs. Is he doing all this because he got a good job, or is this stuff he doing helping him? Because you know how we are. I'm skeptical of everything. I ain't gonna hold all aboard on nothing right away. I have to get to know who the person is. That was half the battle, because I already knew him as a person. Thank you. She said she let me help. And then I have to see about what you selling, because I'm not one that's quick to jump on board and buy stuff. Now, what I will do, because honey, let me tell you, before I had kids, or a kid, I have always supported everybody. I done bought more coupon books, Chick-fil-A coupon books, candles, magazines. What else have I bought? Candy on top of candy on top of candy. I done bought donuts. I done bought calendars. I done bought, I think I said candles already. I done bought everything in the world that everybody has sold, just to support. I will support your business, because I believe that's the only way your business is gonna grow. So, if you've got something, even if it's not something that I use personally, I'll buy it and give it away, because that's just, I believe in supporting small businesses and our Black businesses as well. So, I've always tried to do that. But Yeah, I'm not a sales. I don't do selling stuff. So when I saw that, and I was like, trying to figure out what he was doing. So I watched him for probably about, let me see, he started in May, and I watched him until around November. November 17th is when I got started. So, I'm seeing him, and not only was he in there, I started seeing other people that I knew from home and stuff that were reputable people that were taking a chance on it. And I'm like, because I saw one of our friends, Adrian, I saw a couple of other people that I was like, okay. So I finally reached out to him, and I'm like, now, Tony, I've been seeing your stuff, and I'm trying to figure out what it is you're doing, but I can't quite figure it out based on what you've been posting. So let me ask you a question, and and I prefaced it like this. I said, look, I do not want to hear a sales pitch. I want to hear some long song and dance. I don't want to watch no videos. Just tell me in layman's terms, in 5 minutes, what it is you do and how it would benefit me. So he did, and I was impressed because I'm not easy to impress. Usually I'm one of them people, I'm gonna ask you 101 questions, and to the point that you're like, you know what, never mind. I don't even want you to buy it no more. Bye. But that's just how I am. I like to feel like I have thoroughly investigated whatever I'm thinking about sticking my money into. But honey, last time I went to a car dealership, I got there at 12 o'clock, and the crazy part was I wasn't really going in there to buy that day. I was just going in there to look because I was thinking about getting another car. Because my car was still running. It wasn't no dire situation where I just needed a car. But you know how they are. Once you walk in there and saying like you're interested and don't fool around and test drive nothing, they ain't gonna let you go until you didn't you didn't kind of try to make some type of commitment. But see, I'm one of them folks, all right, you asked for it. So 12 o'clock I get in there. They show me the cars. I done test drove about 4 cars. One of them I test drove twice. Then I done asked all about, I think at this point I wasn't with my econ yet, but I had been working on my credit, so it was better than it had been in the past when I went to the car dealership and they ran my credit. I had like a 591 credit score, so I knew I wasn't down there, but at the same time I didn't have an 850. But so when they started talking paperwork, and I'm like, well, I don't know. When I tell you everybody down to the janitor came in there and asked me, why you want to go to get the car? I'm talking about everybody coming there like, it's a good car. I'm like, y'all supposed to say that. Y'all work here. How I know? And it had got to a point where I had finally said yes. They didn't print out the papers. I'm sitting in the office, got the pen in my hand, reading over the stuff, and I said, something about this just don't feel right. I'm not gonna get it. Honey, it was 8 o'clock at night. And them folks be like, no, you did not come in here and waste our time all day. So he's like, what is it? What can we do? So I got him to go down some more on the price. I got him to throw in some extra features. I got him to knock off the first 2 car payments. And then once I felt like I still don't know, but this is better than what I could have thought, I went on and bought the car. But see, I'm the type of person, when I buy a car, I don't be all excited. Oh, I got a new car. What I have is a new car payment. And even though, I can't remember, what was the payment for that? I got the car that I'm driving now, which is a Nissan Pathfinder. And I don't remember, I think my car payment was like 3 something. And I was trying to get it down as low as possible because one time before I had a car payment that was $500 or some dollars, and it wasn't worth it. I was young, dumb, credit bad. So after that experience, I said I don't never want to have another car payment that's $500 because, like, if you got a note that's $300, somebody might will loan you that. Everybody trying to loan you $564.78. I'm sorry. then it's not gonna happen. So I learned my lesson, and so I don't think I ever got to pay me down to 3 something or whatever. But I still drove off thinking, oh my God, for the next 4 years, I don't know, it's 4 or 5, maybe 5 years, I got to be stuck paying on this car. I do not. And it's that feeling of not having a car note is like, it ain't nothing like it. And you got to start all over, and now you got a car note? I wasn't feeling it. So, anyway, after, I think I got that car in 2014. I joined this business finally in 2015 after watching Tony and him explain it to me and everything. So, the good thing is, once I joined, I learned how to go ahead and pay it off early. Because what happened was, okay, initially when I joined the business, my goal was to one, not have to be owing on my taxes, because I always owe on my taxes every year, and I had them taking all this extra money out of my check. Second goal was to get my credit cards paid down. I had like 2 or 3 credit cards that were kind of up, and I wanted to get them paid off. So, once I got started, it just so happened that me correcting my W-4 put an extra $400 in my paycheck every 2 weeks. So, that's $800 a month, right? So I'm getting this $800 a month, and I'm, for the first time in my life, I'm doing the right thing with the $800 a month. I ain't gonna ball out. I ain't gonna buy this, that, and the other. I actually sat down because, part of what came with the business was them teaching you, strategies and paying your stuff off. So I'm like, okay, I got this $800. I'm gonna take this $800 and I'm gonna get that stuff paid off. So I slowly, one by one, paid off my credit card. Next thing I did, I got to the point I paid off my credit card. So now the money I was using to pay on credit cards, I got that free. Still don't want to fall out and do nothing stupid. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start paying my car off. So what I ended up doing, I would make the regular payment, and then I check with them first, because apparently some places won't let you do it, but I checked to make sure that if I wanted to make a second payment towards the principal only, if that was gonna be okay. So they were fine with it. So one thing I did, I refinanced it and got a lower interest rate, because the interest rate I had was a Nissan dealership. I don't, it might have been like a 6 or a 7, but when I went through my bank at this point, and now my credit is, but I was able to get like 3%. So lowered the interest rate, and then I just started making payments twice a month. I would pay the regular note, then I paid the second note, and put on that thing for principal only. So I was able to pay my car off like a year and a half ahead of time, which was great, because I'm just like, I hate having a car note. So then I just started kind of looking at other things that I needed to work on. And it was sort of like a snowball effect of things that I was knocking out, or check. And so when I started looking back, I'm like, okay, to pay these cards off, to pay my car off. Then I'm looking at my credit report, because I've done those things, and paying the car off really didn't help with the credit. I thought it would, but it didn't, because that was my only credit that was an installment credit. When it comes to credit, they want you to have installment credit, and they want you to have revolving credit. And revolving is just like credit cards and stuff, meaning you can run them up, pay them off each month. But installment is like a house or a car, meaning once you get done, you done. So I was proud of the fact that I was done, but then now I only got revolving credit. I don't have no installment credit. So that's when I have to learn that lesson about the credit and everything. But I was feeling good, because at this point now I have this additional money, because I've done the right things and paid some stuff off. So I'm like, okay, I need to start building up an emergency fund. So every time I got paid, I went and got I learned that banks are not the best place to keep your money. Put them somewhere where they can put your money somewhere where it can be liquid, meaning you can get to it, but you don't want it to be too liquid that you can just snatch it out. So what I did, I got with the Primerica person, and I set up mutual funds. Now, mutual funds accrue interest at a higher rate than dealing with your bank. So once I learned that, and see, I didn't know none of this stuff like this. So, learned about that, and then the money that I was putting for an emergency, I put over into a mutual fund that was gaining interest at like I want to say 12 or 13%. It was high, meaning as long as that money was sitting over there, it was making me more money. And with it being in an account like that, I couldn't like just be, how you got money in the bank and you at the store and you see something that you really should I get it, should I not? And see, I'm bad about depending on what it is, making an impulse purchase. So if you got money and it's in a mutual fund, you're not gonna be able to do that because even if you decide to get it out, it's gonna take a couple of days. So if you like me, if you done had time to think about it, a lot of times you're not gonna get it. So that saved me by not being so liquid that I could just grab it out and go make a purchase. I had time to think about it. And so, it's no stuff like that you have to do to yourself to trick yourself into being more financially responsible. Because now I don't like to do a whole lot of shopping. I'm not big on clothes. I'm not big on name brands. But I am also like this. If I see something I want, I'm getting it. If I decide I want it, I'm going to get it. And is that always the best thing? No. But I mean, I know me and I know who I am. So it is what it is. And some stuff I bought, I regret it. And some stuff I bought, I'm like, well, I wanted it and I got it. Ergo, I got a room full of workout equipment in there. I ought to be fine as Serena Williams at this point. With all the shit I done bought in there for exercise. I got the weight bench with that stuff. I got the elliptical treadmill, all kind of stuff in there. Do I use that stuff every day? No. But I look at it like this. When I decide I want to use it, I got it. So that's my justification. When I want to use it, I got it. And see, a lot of reason I bought a lot of that stuff too was because I was going to a gym actively. I had a membership, personal trainer, right before COVID. Well, when COVID hit around March or April of 2020, the gym shut down. Like they literally closed their doors because it wasn't safe. So, I'm like, damn, at the time I started kind of getting on the right track and trying to do the right thing, here this stuff comes. So that's when I was like, well, one monkey don't stop no show. So I ordered up workout equipment and all that stuff. And Naya teased me now. And every time I get something, oh, you got a new coat rack? Because you know, do nothing but hang clothes on. She give me a hard time about this stuff. But I feel like this. When I get ready to use it, it's right in there. You can't take that away from me. So yeah. I can do impulse purchases at times. But most times I don't regret it. So anyway, happy my anniversary to Tony. I am proud of him for staying in this business for 8 years, and I appreciate him for introducing this business to me because it has been a blessing to me as well. So I told him happy anniversary today, but I also meant to send him a text and say we need to do a celebration live later on tonight. Because it's like a lot of times people, when you get started doing something, people will watch you. Like I was watching him. And I didn't say I was watching him to see him fail. I was watching him to see what his results were going to be. But it's not like I was wishing that he didn't do well. I just wanted to see what the results were. Okay, Ben's thank you for listening while working. I appreciate you. Yeah, I didn't want to see him fail, even though I know there are people out here that they be waiting on your downfall. It'll be like, let's see how long he gonna do this. He'll be on to something else in a minute. That stuff ain't gonna work. You have people that have that type of mentality. And so the fact that he has stayed with it, and I've seen how much his financial knowledge has grown. And this man went out in the middle of the pandemic and bought a big ass house And I'm just like, everybody else around here trying not to spend money, and you done went and bought Zamunda. Because when I saw it, I was like, wow. A lot of people couldn't do that because they were cutting back so much and things had gotten so expensive. But based on his financial understanding and his knowledge, he was able to still prosper doing it. So I was steady learning from him. So I was proud of him for doing that. He's really good about sharing the information. He's way more dedicated than me because he do a video every day. I'm doing a video every day. But he does that. He does TikTok. He gets on and does, but me and him, we got that in common that we're both silly. We like to do the silly stuff. So he'll get on there. Me and him have had dance challenges against each other. We've had like a hip hop challenge. Hey, Demetra lit all day. Hey, girl, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming through. But girl, I know you be busy around here, so I appreciate you. Me and Tony then did the rap challenge against each other. We did the dance challenge. We always try to think of something to one up each other, and he's fun like that. Thanks for the inspiration. Have a great. Thank you, Benj, for coming through. I appreciate you, and I'm glad I could give you some inspiration. But yeah, we always doing something that and acting silly, and I think that's what keeps the business good too, because when we're doing stuff, it's about what you're comfortable with. So thank you, Demetra. I appreciate you. Yeah, when we're doing the business, we make it fun. We make it us. Everybody does things different ways. I personally don't really have a serious bone in my body. I'm always silly. But I mean, people who know me personally. They'll never take nothing I say seriously. So I'm used to that. But then people who aren't as familiar with me, a lot of times they don't know how to take it. But we super silly. We get on here like I think one of the last ones we did together. He done wrapped up his head in some bandages, got ketchup on it, talking about inflation that caught him and whooped his ass and the bills was whooping his ass and all that stuff. So, little fun stuff like that to keep the humor going is what we like to do. Life is too short to be serious all the time. That's my thing. It's way too short to be serious all the time. So if there's any way that I can make it a little bit more fun, that's what I'm gonna do. Let me see. Let me see. Demetra said, I just made a no frivolous spending vow for May. I've been going ham since leaving my apartment and not having bills. Okay, stick to it now. I would say this about me. I can't say I don't do any frivolous spending, but I know not to create a situation where I can. Like, if I know I like buying a bunch of gadgets and stuff, I ain't going in no store that's got I like stores like let me see. Not I was thinking not Big Lot. What's the one? Best Buy. Places like Best Buy, I love because I can go in there and find something that I need that I don't really need, but that I feel like I can't live without now that I've seen it. I can go in there and buy something real quick. So because I know that about me, I will stay out of stores like that. Or even like I'm bad about Amazon. I get on Amazon and start scrolling, seeing stuff that I think I can't live without. Next thing you know, and see, Amazon makes it so easy because it's here in 2 days, and I'm just like, I like it. Let me see. I'm buckling down on my saving and preparing to get into my own spot in a few months. All right, you can do it, Demetra. You can do it. And you've been doing so good with the info and the content you're putting out on the channel that I see that it's been growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, I've enjoyed all of your lives and everything. So keep up that And that I'm sure that's gonna be a good stream of income coming in. And pay attention to like things that you can write off with your business and stuff. Cause like any apps you use and stuff, you know, when with you being a monetized content creator, it's a lot of stuff that when tax time rolls around, you can write off and bring money into your pocket that way. Like a lot of times you may not see it up front, but when tax time roll around, that's when you're gonna see it. Because if you got a business and it's your own business, the way the government looks at it, they let you do what you need to do, get your business going, pay what you're gonna pay, and then at the end, they're gonna tax you on what's left over. And depending on how much you spend in expenses, it might not be nothing to tax. You know, people like what that man name? I can't never think of his name. Shoot. One of the richest men in America, not Trump. Don, what the man name? Shoot. Anyway, one of the rich guys, he actually pays less in taxes than his secretary. His secretaries have to pay more because what he do, he get his expenses and write everything off. He know how to write everything off. So by the time he write him, even though he's making millions, Warren Buffett, even though Warren Buffett has billions and trillions or whatever of dollars, because he knows how to write things off and have business expenses, when it's time for him to pay taxes, he almost don't have none to pay. But then he said his secretary, who ain't making nowhere near the type of money he got, pay more in taxes than he do. You know why? Because she worked for him. He worked for himself. When you work for yourself, the tax situation is totally different. So, you know, if the secretary start working for him, get home, then she might end up, you know, depending on what the business is, I'm pretty sure she's gonna pay less taxes. Okay, so let's see what you say. Correct about the write-up. Yeah, that's the main thing. You know, that's the reason why Tony and I were so bent on coming onto YouTube, because you know we weren't YouTube creators. I had a page and stuff, but as far as content and monetized stuff, I wasn't looking to do it like that. But then I started looking and seeing how many people who did have successful pages that were, you know, probably getting good AdSense checks that may not know what all that could be right now. So like it's good that you're getting cash outs and you're getting your super chats and everything, but it might be a whole nother level of money you missing out on simply because you don't have the knowledge. And see, that's what the business I do, it teaches you the knowledge on what you can and can't write off, how to turn a regular expense into a business expense. Because you know what we like to say, we don't add the business to our lifestyle. We can make our lifestyle a business. And there's a difference. Because like when we went out, you know, I said my daughter was selling her product. She was a vendor at the thing we went to Saturday, right? So for us to drive from here to the event and back home, that mileage is I'm tracking the mileage. And we went out to eat at the Olive Garden. She wanted Olive Garden after the event. Hey, that was a business meal. That's gonna get written off. I haven't figured out quite yet how to write off the stuff that we brought, because one thing, I did a little more spending than I did vending. So even though she sold a lot of her products, I was over there buying other folks' stuff. So I'm like, I gotta figure out how I can write this off. But writing it off and lowering your taxable expenses is the name of the game. Let me see what Bench says. Bench says, I have lived way below my means for years. I pay cash for most everything and revolving bills a few months ahead. That is excellent, Bench. But what I want you to keep in mind, though, I know you say you do cash, but credit, even if you don't do like, even if you just get like a store credit card, get that, buy some, pay it off every month. Because what you want to do is build a credit history. If you don't have a credit history, that's one of the things that they look at. And I mean, you're in a good spot as far as you don't owe anybody and you don't have bad credit, but it no credit can be just as destructive as bad credit, because the whole thing about credit is these stores or these vendors are looking at you and they're trying to decide, if I let her walk away with this stuff and let her tell me she's gonna pay me every month, they're gonna look at what all else you got on your credit. Have you been paying them people on time? How much credit you have at a time and it still stay good. They're looking at all of that to make this judgment. So if you got somebody that is, let's say you think about buying a car. Well, if you don't have any credit, as far as like you don't have any cars that you pay on every month, that's good. But at the same time, they don't have nothing to look at to decide whether or not they don't. It's like they taking a chance. She don't have anything for me to look at to show how good she is with it. So how do I know how much to trust her with? So that's something a lot of the younger kids run into, that are especially out of college. Now, when I was in college, I messed up. I got credit cards and messed them up. Well, you got a lot of students that went through school, didn't do nothing bad, credit fine. But at the same time, when they get ready to get started, they want to buy a car, they want to buy this, that, and the other. They looking at them like, I can't trust you with a $20,000 car and you ain't never had no credit. You might get this car and lose your mind and not pay this bill, and we got to chase you down. So they looking at it like it's too much of a risk, because we don't know what you're capable of. As long as you have a history, even if it's bumpy here and there, they got an idea of what type of capabilities you have as far as paying bills. And the good thing about it is, after 7 years, if it's something bad, and that helped me a lot, because a lot of them bad decisions I made in college, by the time I got to be in my late 30s, that stuff had fallen off. I didn't pay it all off. A lot of it had fallen off. So that kind of gives you a fresh start. But then at the same time, if all your bad stuff fall off and you ain't got no good stuff on them, you still ain't got no credit. So that's something that we like to talk about. The 5 things that it takes to have good credit. Okay. Demetria says, I gotta run, but I'm gonna email you in the next couple of days. I wrote it down, so I'm like, okay, Demetria. Cool. I see you. You said, I'm gonna invite you to Lit Line to show me something. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would love to come over and talk about it. So I'll be looking forward to it. Let me see. Bench, thanks, Demetria, for supporting. Demetria is good about supporting. I will say that about her. I always hear her shouting people out. Okay. She's telling you, oh, Ben, let me see what you said, Ben. Okay. Yeah, you're right. That's been a major change. I'm seeking custody of my newborn brother. Oh, okay. So you about to have a baby in the house. I love babies. And I hope everything works out with it. And Demetria says, good luck with that. What else did I miss? Demetria. Ben says, yes, it does hurt me for some things I wanted. Well, yeah, I mean, but think about it. Like I said, baby steps. You don't have to go out and get like this huge credit card debt, but just get something to establish that you've had credit and that you're capable of paying it on time. It ain't got to be a whole lot, but people need to see. They need to have something to go by. So when you don't have any credit and you pay for everything cash, that's good on a personal standpoint. But from somebody looking to sell something to you, they're gonna look at it as a risk. So yeah. Well, anyway, I have been on here for an hour and I didn't even plan on staying that long, but I appreciate you, Bench Thinker and Demetria, for coming through and participating in the conversation. I appreciate that a lot. Again, congratulations and happy Mike anniversary to Tony. We may be back on later, celebrating that with him, depending on what he got going on today. And just thanks for coming through. And keep in mind, you had posted If you have any hand sanitizer needs, go to www.tieandniessentials.com and purchase your hand sanitizer. So on that note, I'm gonna play this little clip it again, and I will see y'all next time, maybe tomorrow, since it seems like my life trying to kind of get back in control of it. So I might come back tomorrow. These last couple of weeks been crazy, but God is good. I came back today, and I'm still here. So anyway, let me see where the thing is. I'm gonna end with this, and I'll see y'all next time. Need to go play.